LeBron James, one of the greatest basketball players and athletes of our time. This man has accomplished just about anything and everything you can accomplish in the sport. 4-time NBA champion, 4-time MVP, 20-time NBA All-Star, 19-time All-NBA selection. He also has 2 gold medals to his credit. This man has been dominant in the sport for nearly 20 years with no signs of slowing down. Longevity we may never ever see in the sport again. Regardless of how you feel about LeBron and where you have him on your all-time greats list, he will forever be on the Mount Rushmore of the sport forever. But could LeBron James have played another sport like football? This is something that's always been talked about. The closest thing we've had is Calvin Johnson, and other athletes weigh in.
So you don't think LeBron could go out there and catch a couple touchdowns?
Hell no. Just toss him the ball. He don't know how to get up press.
What if they don't press him?
They gonna press him. You'd be foolish not to press him.
About to say,
because he gonna jump over the top of you and catch it.
His arms are like an 8-foot wingspan.
That's why I'm gonna press him. Because he don't know how to use it. He don't know how to get up press.
Let's take it back. Before the commercials, the titles, the MVPs, the 20-year storied NBA career, LeBron James was just a kid from Akron, St. Vincent, St. Mary's, being the most dominant high school basketball player we had ever seen. He was on the cover of every magazine. He was winning state titles. He was selling out arenas. He was the best Ohio high school athlete ever. He was also a phenomenal football player. Standing at 6'8", 230 pounds, LeBron James was a man amongst the boys. In just 2 years of playing high school football, he amassed 103 receptions for over 2,000 yards and 23 touchdowns. He was also All-Ohio for 2 years and was the #1 recruit coming out of the state. He was drawing comparisons to a slower version of Randy Moss, but to preserve his NBA dreams, he decided to opt out of his senior year of football and focus solely on basketball. But what if LeBron James chose football instead? LeBron is returning for his senior year, still standing at 6'8", 230 pounds. He's going to wear the number 9 jersey again. He's got 3 schools on his list initially, Ohio State being the top. Notre Dame was another good option for him, and then Akron was the hometown, and he thought that that would be a great starting point for him. The first game of the year is going to be against the North Canton Lumberjacks. He wanted to prove not only was he the #1 recruit in the state of Ohio, but the best recruit in the country. LeBron James coming out to start his senior campaign. He's going to use his football IQ and some off-script routes to find the holes. And here he goes, right here, a 45-yard touchdown by LeBron, his first touchdown of his senior season. This man is going to get things rolling and take Akron to an easy win. 2nd and 10, shortly after that first touchdown, he's going across the middle yet again, makes the guy miss, and he is going to score a little 50-yard touchdown by LeBron. 2 TDs in the first quarter alone. Here we are as we're about to close out the half. LeBron yet again in the middle. These guys are not learning. 20-yard touchdown reception, 30-0 right before the half, and we are going to go ahead and show you the end. Another play of the game by LeBron. What do you know? Across the middle, running up, makes the guy miss. We've seen this time and time again. LeBron putting up superhuman numbers. He put up 18 receptions for 349 yards and 5 TDs. Absolutely unreal, and started this senior season off right. That first game for LeBron and the squad really set the tone for the rest of the season. They weren't just beating teams, they were destroying them by sometimes 20, 30, 40 points, cruising their way to an undefeated record. LeBron was having games that were absolutely unbelievable, sometimes 20 receptions for over 300 yards and multiple touchdowns. LeBron was proving that he was one of the top recruits, not just in the state, but in the country. LeBron finished the season with over 100 receptions for 1,500 yards receiving, and Ohio State offered him a full scholarship, his dream school. And you can see that Ohio State wasn't the only ones. These schools knew that he was going to go to Ohio State, but they decided to throw their names in the hat anyways. LeBron and the Irish are now in the state title game, and they are playing at Ohio Stadium. LeBron is going to be excited to give them a little taste of what's to come. LeBron did not disappoint. He went off. He had a 12 reception game for over 200 yards and a few touchdowns, and St. Vincent St. Mary dismantled Reading, beating them 55-0. They took out the starters midway through the third quarter. LeBron caps off his illustrious high school career, a state champion yet again, and one of the top recruits in the country. LeBron is going to undoubtedly pick Ohio State as his new home, as he hopes to continue the program's dominance and the rich history of wide receivers that come out of this storied program. LeBron is going to be the fourth receiver on the roster as they take on Buffalo for their home opener here. They try to get him incorporated early to get him acclimated. LeBron goes across the middle, and they just could not connect early, but that would not stop LeBron. Here we go. It is 2nd and 4. LeBron in the slot. They drop back. LeBron goes across the middle, and they get him in there, and that's going to be LeBron's first touchdown, what hopes to be a legendary career at the Horseshoe. Towards the end of the second quarter, LeBron's doing a little improv route, using that football IQ, and shows that he can make these big plays when they need him. That was a 24-yard reception. And here we go towards the end of the game. It is tied up. Ohio State is trying to avoid the upset. LeBron in motion. They give it to him, and LeBron goes in, plows his way into the end zone to take that to a 21-14 lead. Buffalo here to take this into overtime. LeBron is trying to get his first win at Ohio State. The kick is up, and it is good. We are going to overtime. All right, you got Buffalo trying to kick this field goal in the first overtime. It is 4th and 8. The kick is up, and Buffalo cans it again. It is 27-24 Ohio State. If they get into the end zone, they win. LeBron in the slot. Ohio State's going to have him in the middle of the field after they saw what he did in high school. We're waiting on the snap. LeBron finds the middle part of the field, and it looks like he's going to score, and he does. He gets the game-winning touchdown in his first ever game in college. Ohio State is going to escape the upset. What an incredible start to the season. LeBron is your player of the game. 4 receptions, 73 yards, and 2 touchdowns as Ohio State moves on 1-0. Ohio State would fall to San Diego State, a soul-crushing loss for their season, but they would get huge wins against Wisconsin and Iowa. But here we are for the first rivalry game for LeBron, Penn State. Even though that Penn State is 2-4, this rivalry game is always huge for new players to assert themselves as a very special piece of this puzzle. LeBron shows that his improv routes and football IQ are going to serve him well at Ohio State. He was also returning kicks in this, where he got Ohio State good field position on numerous punts. That one right there is a 27-yard return. LeBron catching some in traffic here, showing what made him so good in high school and what got Ohio State excited to have him as part of the receiving corps here. LeBron again across the middle. This is what makes him great. He is not scared to go across the middle. Here we are as we round out the third quarter. It's 14-6. Ohio State was trying to score to put the game away. LeBron with another big first down right there. 7-yard reception, 1st and 10. Ohio State with 3 minutes left. They are trying to cap off this game and get out of here to be 7-1. And they find Cameron Babb in the end zone to put Penn State away. This brings us to the Michigan week. LeBron, up until that point, has had 20 receptions for 320 yards and 3 touchdowns. And as everyone knows, the Michigan and Ohio State game can take your career to the next level. Ohio State tried to get LeBron involved early by putting him in the middle of the field, his specialty, catching it in traffic, but it didn't matter. They were unable to score, and Michigan got into the end zone first, taking an early lead on Ohio State 7-0. LeBron, also returning kicks in this game, decided to take it out of the end zone, and it proved to work out for him as he put Ohio State in great field position on this kick return. About a 40-yard return right there. On that same drive, 1st and goal, with about 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the second quarter, Ohio State is trying to score. They get LeBron again in the middle of the field yet again, and they tie it up with Michigan 7-7. This game was like a heavyweight fight. Both teams giving each other their best stuff. This is what a rivalry game is all about. Lead changes back and forth, and that's going to take us into the fourth quarter. Here we are, 2nd and 7. Ohio State has an opportunity to put Michigan away. LeBron tries to get in the middle of the field, and McCord takes a sack. That is not the real McCord, by the way. I don't know what NCAA was doing here. The names were all random. It was the craziest thing. Anyways, back to the game. We got LeBron out wide. He goes in the middle. He gets it, and he gets really, really close. It is 4th and 5, but they opt to go for it. Questionable play calling, but with the rivalry game, anything is possible. They're going to try to get LeBron in the middle of the field, I bet. Here we go. And the ball comes out. He had it in his hand. What a crucial drop. And now Michigan gets an opportunity to tie the game up. Michigan was able to go down the field quickly and score. Now they've got a PAT to tie it up 21-21, and it is good. The score is tied, just under 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. You've got LeBron in the end zone waiting to take the kick. Let's see if he nails it or takes it out. And he elects to take it out. What a ballsy call with the great spin move there. Gets across the 20 and almost to the 30-yard line. 1:47 here. Let's see what they do. LeBron, he's out into the slot on the left side of the screen here. 1st and 10. Let's see if he does a little impromptu route here. He finds the opening. He goes in the middle. His specialty. He gets in the middle of the field with a 19-yard reception. It is 1st and 10. Ohio State is electing to do a hurry up here. Waiting on the snap. 1:42 left in the game. He tries to go, and the quarterback gets sacked. Ohio State would turn the ball over, and Michigan would capitalize with the field goal to take the lead with 53 seconds left in the game. The kick is up, and it is good. Michigan takes the lead with 50 seconds left. What is Ohio State gonna do? This is a tall task to go against this Michigan team with 50 seconds left to get points on the board. LeBron decides to take it out of the end zone yet again. He gets across the 20, and he's going to go to the 35-yard line. LeBron with a crazy, crazy return. Few plays later, it is 3rd and 10, 35 seconds left. Ohio State needs a huge first here. Waiting on the snap, you got LeBron out wide, and he throws it deep to him, and it gets batted down. It is 4th and 10. Ohio State's season is on the line here. You got LeBron out to the left. Let's see if he can find the middle of the field like he has this entire game. He drifts, but they decided to throw it to number 6, J.K. Johnson, for an 11-yard touchdown reception to get 1st and 10. Couple plays later, there's 10 seconds left. The time is ticking. Ohio State elected not to call a timeout. They throw the ball to LeBron, and LeBron gets in the middle of the field with just 2 seconds left, and they hurry and call a timeout. It is 21-24. Ohio State has to make this to tie it up, to take it into overtime. The kick is up, and it is good. Never a doubt. 24-24, and this game is going into overtime. Michigan was able to score on their first possession in overtime. Now Ohio State has their chance. LeBron goes across the middle and finds the hole. 16-yard reception. It is 1st and goal, Ohio State, and they elect to go with the hurry up here. Waiting on the snap, making sure everyone's set. Gets the ball. LeBron goes across the middle again, and they hit him, and LeBron is just short. It is 2nd and goal on a 7-yard reception. They're electing to go with the hurry up yet again. 2nd and goal. LeBron has been destroying it here in this overtime so far. Waiting on the snap. And LeBron in the middle again with a 2-yard touchdown reception. He is going to tie this game up with Michigan 38-38. For some reason, the game glitched, but Michigan was unable to score. And then Ohio State right here, number 11, gets into the end zone for the win. Ohio State in a game for the ages came in with the win, and LeBron showed out with 14 catches, 166 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Ohio State was going to reach the Big Ten title game. LeBron, coming off a crazy game against Michigan, would not have the same effect that he has had in past games, but Ohio State was still coming away with the victory. Was this going to be enough to get them into the national championship game? We will see what, at this time, the BCS is going to decide. Their win in the Big Ten title game was not enough to get them into the national championship, but they would face Oregon, where they would get the win 20-7. But it was a rough game for LeBron as he had no receptions, no yards in his first bowl game as a freshman. LeBron would cap off his freshman campaign with 42 receptions for 573 yards and 7 touchdowns. Not too bad. LeBron going into his sophomore year is an 89 overall as he goes into a season that either him or Ohio State would expect. Ohio State would open the season against Navy, and this game would play exactly into Navy's hands. This game would be a wet one, not conducive for Ohio State, but it doesn't matter. LeBron James, in the first drive of the game, gets into the end zone to take the lead on Navy 7-0. As the game would progress, Navy would be throwing their heaviest punches against Ohio State, and they're up on them 21-14. Ohio State is trying to come back. LeBron James gets a crucial catch there to keep the drive going. It is 3rd and 3 for Ohio State. They got to get into the end zone to prevent a upset this early in the season. They drop back. They try to get LeBron gets across. It is 1st and 10 Ohio State. They cannot let their season go to waste in the first week. Next play, they throw it deep to LeBron, and it is picked off by Navy, and Navy is going to upset Ohio State, and this is going to be the start of a rough stretch, not for just LeBron, but Ohio State. The following week, they would fall to Cincinnati, and they would go 0-2 to start the season. That would trickle down to the rest, where they lost to Michigan at the end to have a 5-7 season, the worst season that Ohio State has had in many years. And LeBron only had 26 receptions for 392 yards. Even with a lackluster season, LeBron was able to improve to a 94 overall, but he was still the 3rd receiver on the team. This takes us to our first game, Northern Illinois. LeBron is trying to get something going. His decision to play football is looking to be a bigger mistake than he thought, but he's looking to turn it around here in this first game. LeBron does a few little improv routes here, uses his football IQ to find that open field. You're going to see that he makes a hell of an impact on this first game and hopes to get Ohio State on the right track. Then as we get towards the end of the half, he gets in the middle of the field yet again to show how dangerous he is. They were able to win this game, not as convincing as they would have hoped, but it was better than the previous year. LeBron had about 10 receptions for about 180 yards and a couple touchdowns. They kept the ball rolling as they defeated 13th ranked Virginia Tech 28-6. This did not stop there as they were able to take on Wisconsin, who is also a big rival, and they were ranked as well, and they dominated. One of the best games that Ohio State has had since LeBron has been on the football team. LeBron was also the player of the game, where he had 9 receptions for 200 yards and 2 TDs. Did Ohio State turn the corner? No. They would lose to Michigan yet again, and this would be their 4th loss on the season. LeBron did have a great game of 9 receptions, 218 yards. That put him over the 1,000-yard mark for the first time in his college career, but the season was still a letdown as they played in a BS bowl game and did win. But now that takes us to LeBron's senior season. LeBron knew that something had to change. He started thinking back to his time in high school, what made him great, what made him the dominant receiver that Ohio State wanted. He decided to go back to his number 9 jersey. LeBron, this go-around, was on a mission to prove that he did not make a bad decision. In the first game of the season, the team that started it all, Buffalo. LeBron would come into this game as a 99 overall wide receiver 1 for Ohio State, and he did not disappoint. This man was on a mission. He was finding the middle of the field any chance he got, and he was getting into the end zone. This man went off. He ended this game with 13 receptions for over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns, an incredible and dominating performance that Ohio State needed to get things going and get back on track to be the dominant program, which led us to the game, to the team that beat them unexpectedly in his freshman season. LeBron went off yet again, 11 receptions, 236 yards, and a touchdown. This was a revenge season, not just for Ohio State, but for LeBron. These 2 games captured the attention of the rest of the country. LeBron is now on the Heisman watch list. This brings us to one of the craziest games that Ohio State has ever taken part in, and probably the best game of LeBron James's career. It seemed as if LeBron and Ohio State's hopes were lost here, but they did not give up. Their offense could not get anything going in this first half, but here they found themselves in the red zone right at the end of the first half, and LeBron took over. They decided to go with the hurry up here, and if they couldn't stop LeBron, they were just going to keep running this play down their throat. LeBron over here on the right side of the screen is going to run a quick slant in there and get the touchdown, and this was the momentum that Ohio State needed to make a run. But Cal, that did not stop them. They punched back, and now they are up 29-14 on Ohio State. LeBron finds some open field. He goes over the top, and he makes a crucial drop, something that you don't see often. In past performances, Ohio State usually crumbles, but this time the whole offense stepped up. Running backs, receivers, tight ends all did their part, and they were able to go down on this drive and score off in a Buka touchdown, but they failed on the 2-point conversion that ultimately had them trailing 29-20. Here we are, 29-20. It's third quarter, minute 39 left. Ohio State has got to do something to get it going. They cannot afford this season to fall short, especially on LeBron's senior year. LeBron on this play is going to use his football IQ to find the holes in the secondary here with a slant, and he does just that with a 14-yard reception to keep the drive going. And here we are, 4 minutes. LeBron in the end zone is going to get Ohio State trailing only by 2 points with just 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Cal would punch back yet again, and Ohio State is down by 11 with just under 2 minutes left in the game. Ohio State has got to get in their bag here if they want a chance to win, and all of a sudden we've got this Hail Mary throw, and Ibuka catches it. 54-yard reception, 1st and 10 for Ohio State, and this is going to bring about one of the craziest plays and one of many of LeBron's Heisman moments right here. 1st and 10. LeBron is going to do this acrobatic catch here, one of the nicest catches we have seen in his career, and this is going to lead to a touchdown to fall to Cal by only 2 points with just a little under a minute left. Here we are, 2nd and 10. LeBron trying to find the holes, and he does, and he's going to run all the way in for a touchdown, and this is going to take the first lead of the game, and this is going to ultimately do it for Ohio State. They are going to escape the upset from Cal, and Ohio State is going to move on to 3-0. LeBron would have his most impactful game and best game of the season, in my opinion. 9 receptions, 150 yards for 3 touchdowns. This brought Wisconsin next. They were both undefeated, a Big Ten matchup, and Ohio State comes out victorious. This is the best football they have played to date, and LeBron gets the play of the game. He is going to end with 9 receptions, 167 yards, and 1 touchdown. And now we go into the Northwestern game, and LeBron went off. He broke numerous school records, and Ohio State would rout Northwestern to go 6-0. As you can see here, LeBron is making his case to be the #1 receiver, but a true Heisman candidate in his senior campaign. LeBron would end the game with 10 receptions, 194 yards, and 2 touchdowns, which is bringing us to another undefeated Big Ten matchup with Penn State. With 3 minutes and 55 seconds in the first, LeBron is able to get into the end zone for an 8-yard touchdown to strike first on Penn State. But Penn State would score 14 unanswered on Ohio State. They are now down 14-7. Right here at the end of the first, LeBron on the right side of the screen is going to catch a great ball right there, a 29-yard reception. Here we are rounding out the first. You've got LeBron on the right side. He's going to find the middle of the field. His thing almost breaks free there, but 11-yard reception to keep the drive going. To start off the second, they're in the red zone. LeBron finding the middle of the field, his #1 specialty right there, and they're going to tie up Penn State 14-all. Now we're in the fourth quarter, all tied up. Ohio State's got to get into the end zone. And, oh my gosh, McCord breaks it and gives it to Ibuka, and they're going to beat Penn State. The difference maker here is the rest of the Ohio State football team is stepping up. They are playing as a true team for the first time in 3 years. They defeat another undefeated rival, and LeBron James is going to have 13 receptions for 216 yards and 3 touchdowns, and that's going to put him second in the Heisman race as we come to a team that always gives Ohio State fits, and that is Purdue. We've seen this as recently as 2018 when Purdue knocked off the #2 Ohio State team. That would not stop them. Ohio State would get the victory, and LeBron would get the play of the game, finding the end zone by doing none other than the little quick slant, finding the middle of the field. It was another great game by LeBron, and LeBron would get 18 receptions for 246 yards and 2 touchdowns, and that was going to propel him to the #1 Heisman candidate going into the most fateful week of them all, the Michigan week. The last 2 years, this team has evaded LeBron and Ohio State, but LeBron is looking to cap off his senior campaign where he has broke numerous school records and nation records with his performances, and he wants that second pair of gold pants. The elements were just a little too much for Ohio State as they had their worst game offensively. LeBron tried to do everything that he could to get involved, but it just wasn't enough. Michigan came into this playing their normal smash mouth football, and they were able to edge out Ohio State 28-14. This is the 3rd straight year that Michigan has topped Ohio State, and Ohio State is absolutely dumbfounded as their national championship hopes have been lost. LeBron was getting 7 catches for 94 yards and capped off a historic season, 128 receptions for 2,300 yards and 24 TDs, something that has never been done ever in college football. And LeBron would also capture the Heisman, the most prestigious award a player can get, and he would also sweep all of the offensive awards, the Maxwell, the Walter Camp, and the Biletnikoff awards. But not all was lost. Ohio State went into the Outback Bowl and beat Oklahoma, and LeBron is leaving his career as an Ohio State Buckeye a winner. I think we can all agree that LeBron made the right decision to play in the NBA, but it's still cool to think about what could have been. But his NBA career, he became one of the greatest players ever. But I'm sure there are a few NBA teams that wish he would have chosen football instead, like the Atlanta Hawks, because most likely they would have had a couple NBA championships if he wasn't in the league. If you guys enjoyed this video, do me a favor, don't forget to like and subscribe, as we're going to be putting out more of these as we await for the new college football game to come out in July. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll catch you in the next one.